Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play RGFX Kaiserreich as the Netherlands. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we're currently embargoing the German trade. After that, we'll spread the revolution. Which is going to give us a little bit more party support, which is not like that meaningful, honestly. We're really just wanting to get down to that plus 20% stability. And it does remove brawling from the streets, which is currently... I mean, it does boost stability up automatically. So actually, it might not... It might be worth actually keeping around. Yeah, you know what? Plus 20% stability. Well, I mean, it's 0.7 a week. How long would it take for 20 over 0.7? It would take 28 weeks. About like half of a year. Which, honestly... I'm trying to think. Half a year... You'll be finished in 35 days, which is a few weeks. I mean, we're still going to be gaining... Actually, we're only gaining a positive amount because of brawling in the streets. Which is a little bit strange. You think that people beating each other up in the streets would not boost stability within the country, but shows what I know. I mean, it does give you the extra research slot afterwards. Okay, our agent has been killed. Kind of okay with that. Of course, we have no operations. When are you going to be killed? 116 days. We might be able to free you from the Germans, depending on how things go. My clique has joined the Northern Zealand clique, so they're now all at war with you. So, I mean, you know, the Japanese are at war with a lot of China. The League of Eight Provinces, of course, is not really... I mean, yeah, cooperation, I guess, with the Fenton clique, which is probably why... Yeah, you're actually kind of aligned with Japan, so I guess that makes sense why you would not, get involved in the war directly. Do we have anybody good here? More population? Honestly, I'm going to take it. After our last campaign as the Baltic Duchy and constantly not having enough manpower, getting up to... What is this going to be, what, 10%? Yeah, 10% at just limited conscription is pretty good. A solar eclipse over the Netherlands. The solar eclipse appeared today over the Netherlands as expected. Civilians and scientists alike went outside to look at the sun that was partly covered by the moon. With some of you taking a drive as far north as the French border for an optimum view of this phenomenon. Well, I mean, I don't know how you're going to get to the French border, because I'm pretty sure these guys would not let Dutch citizens at the moment cross into their territory. At least I don't think so. I'm not too sure how strict the border crossing is right here. I would imagine pretty strict if I had to take a guess, but you know, I'm not an expert on Weltkrieg era or Second Weltkrieg era border crossings. So excuse me for my lack of knowledge in the field. So it's currently April 29th. You can't even do the demand Alsace-Lorraine until June. It is the first of May again, and thus once again, it is Labor Day. People across the country are taking a day off to celebrate the revolution and the gains that it has brought. Hank Bennett has held an annual presidency speech today in Amsterdam while people were dressed in red, after which school class was given the honor of singing the Internationale, which was transmitted over the radio for the entire country. So 20 political power is fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, getting a 10% construction speed on factories wouldn't hurt. And right now, what is our current consumer goods? 5% is really nice. And I'm actually thinking, once we go up to war economy, which we're definitely going to do, we'll actually be at 0%. Which I'm not too sure how that's actually going to necessarily play out. Honestly, I don't think we want to take this right yet. Because we're still getting our weekly change from brawling the streets. Until we get to maybe... I mean, 80%... Well, once we get a 60% stability, we'll take finish in National Assembly to get us up to 80. But for right now, I think we're actually in an okay position. We're going to go for new machine guns. Because, again, the war is right over the horizon. Like, it's coming soon. And we better be ready for it. So let's go for you. Your first operation, of course, will be to... You're captured in Germany, so I guess I will spy in Berlin. I don't know how long it's going to take for the operation to become available. Right now, 0%. 0.4. Apparently 0.4 rounds to 1. I'm not too sure your math works there. So we need 30% intel here to actually capture our agent, and then it takes 75 days. So I feel like our agent is absolutely dead. Venezuela has elected a syndicalist government, which should actually be pretty good for us, because it's going to give the Entente another front line. Not a front line with the Brazilians, though, because this is all impassable territory, so you can't actually go through there. And are you going to join the International? Not quite yet. For the Social Revolution, are you going to declare war on Chile? Because you did that in our Chilean campaign. So you guys, I think, have probably gone for communist supremacy, if I had to take a guess. Join the Third International. I mean, I don't see anything about... I mean, we got the United South American States. So I'm not too sure actually if you're going to attack Chile or not. Again, we hope you don't. But the death of C.J. Schneiders. Cornelius Jacob Schneiders, commander of the Dutch Armed Forces during the Weltkrieg, passed away today. Schneiders was fairly controversial in that the Liberal cabinet ruling in the Netherlands at the time wanted to fire him for defeatism, as he believed the Netherlands could not resist the German invasion, a move only prevented by the personal intervention of Queen Wilhelmina. After the Weltkrieg, Schneiders made himself famous again by co-founding the VNH, which makes up for the far right of the Dutch politics today. Well, I mean, the VNH has no political power in the country at all right now. I don't know, they have 2% support and then 1% of the supremists. So they have 3% support in the country right now. 81% is currently held by the radical socialist. So, I mean, that's pretty one-sided if you ask me. I mean, and Germany being kind of disrupted, it might be the word. Being occupied by this war here will hopefully be giving us a nice little benefit in the war in the future. Japan, unfortunately, I don't believe can actually attack the Germans until they finish their war in China, and who knows how long that's going to take. Potentially, like, years and years and years. King Edward has abdicated the throne. Okay, so Albert I is now in charge. So what are you guys doing? I mean, you're slowly pushing more towards New Orleans. But you want the CSA to win ASAP so they can join the International and then invade Canada. Even though recently it's been very, very rare that the CSA actually either survives long enough to join the International or the Second Weltkrieg lasts long enough for them to join the International. It seems a lot recently that you guys are all experienced. There's no reason for you to be training anymore. Get your organization back. The tank isn't perfect quite yet. Apparently people have ended their hostilities here. Yeah, so you've ended your hostilities. I guess maybe you took some territory. I'm not too sure. But we shall see. So you're all looking pretty good. We have another 20 days roughly until you are ready to go. We do some planes in reserve. So let's combine you guys up, crank you up to, let's say, 400. Then we will deploy probably your tactical bombers, which I have not actually put into the field quite yet. We'll just go up to, let's say, 200 of you. Seems fine. Of course, close air support, air superiority is what we want. I know our Air Force is a little bit pathetic, probably compared to that of Germany or... I mean, Germany, I guess, doesn't have that many aircraft. So you have 320. And Germany probably going to spend their Air Force over France, Russia, and all that. We might be looking at a pretty okay position all around. Again, especially if Russia will intervene and declare war on all these guys. Will they go into the Don-Cuban Union? I'm not too sure. Maybe after the Weltkrieg begins, they'll try pushing their way down south. Because I think Germany abandons all their defensive alignments down in the south. Germany, that's way too many troops to have in this territory. Please... You right now are a level 1 fort. You are a level 1 fort across... Yeah, I think you actually fall back to here. I think we're just going to give this territory to the Germans. Because this is way more defensible. You know, it's only one province across. If we were to stay here, all three of these guys can push in. That's way too big of a combat with. Here, it's only one province and it's across the strait, so that's actually much better for us. We want to be here. The same argument probably does apply to these guys as well. if we want to abandon this one province, because it is in a rather unfortunate spot, because it can get attacked by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces? Are you? We gotta go here now. I think this is what we have to do. This is slightly better. We're gonna abandon a few territories, but abandoning here and this city, I think we kind of have to do for the sake of survival. And Brazil, I did see declared war on Argentina, which is unfortunate. You guys have 7 to 30 divisions. You might be able to pull this off. I mean, if Brazil falls, all of you guys join the International, including Venezuela, we're going to be having a pretty strong position in South America. Peru, Bolivia, I think they're just going to kind of do their own thing. So what can we do here? Mobile warfare tactics. Motorized gets a 15% cost reduction, which is not bad. Anti-submarine destroyer designs. 100 stock, 100, we don't really need 100, though. We have 400 things right now. You know what? Let's do the Fokker fighters. I mean, we get a nice event out of it, so we'll see kind of what that is for us. Because you're all looking pretty good. Are you guys doing Demand Alpha Rain? You are now just getting it started. So it should be ready in 56 days, which is, again, mid-September, roughly. But now that they're doing the focus, the German AI is going to start putting their troops... Why on our... I'm not even in the International. Why are you putting troops here? Get out of here. Go towards the French border so that I can do something else. Again, we don't want to use our troops for this war. CNT is still going to lose, unfortunately. We'll see what Two Sicily does. We're trying to further their defensive line here, but... I think Two Sicilies is just going to get... defeated pretty soon. By Italy, I do mean Two Sicilies. Let me just be a little bit more specific in my wording there. So we have 1,600 rifles. I mean, this is a decent amount, but it's really not the amount that we need. Yeah, transitional fair economy is really hampering us a lot. The negative 65% modifier is just dreadful. We got an extra research slot. You can research you 270 days. You'd be 350 days with the research bonus, which wouldn't be bad. Actually, heart attack and piercing also wouldn't be too bad. We'll wait just a little bit longer on that. I'm actually gonna go for the research upgrades for now. Get some more research speed. So who's in this? Like, we're not here, right? Argentina, Mexico, Paraguay, Chile. Yeah, we're not currently in this kind of socialist alliance quite yet, but we will be, of course, at some point rather soon. Unfortunately, it looks like the uprising in Indonesia has failed. And, of course, the Kingdom of Spain is going to be winning their war, which is really not what we want, but... I mean, what can I do about it? Not much. Because we still have our one troop here. I wish I could, like, bring him back. Because I do not want you here at all. I mean, a Fortress Buster isn't too bad. And actually, a fort and attack. You're also pretty good, honestly. Construction speed goes up 149 days. 314 days on you is a little bit too long. Let's just go for the 101-day artillery upgrade. So right now, our infantry are 4 and 14. So we don't have that many of you guys. If I were to switch over to the artillery pieces, we would spend more on artillery. And I think that's probably actually going to be a little better for us. Yeah, so there's 4 of you. If I were to switch over to the artillery, we have the manpower, we have the artillery. And it saves us on rifles, which is actually going to be very important in the future. So we'll delete that template for now. Who is currently doing occupied territory? You guys. Your suppression is 9. 9 for 500. Manpower per division. Manpower per suppression. I guess we'll throw you guys in here for now. That's, I mean, who... Okay, let me just actually see. Who has better suppression? You have suppression of 3. You have suppression of 9. So, no, yeah, no. The cavalry are just better for this. Never mind. Let me just switch you over again to you. Civilian oversight is, again, not really what we want. We probably want local police force as being our default until we can be a little bit more precise in the future. I really want all these German troops not to be on our borders. There's so many. Why do you have so many troops on our borders? I do not understand. But Siam and Burma are now at war with each other. Of course, Siam does have the backing of the Japanese, so it should make their life a little bit easier in that regard. We could get you. Construction speed on military factory is pretty good. I'm going to take it. Because once... Probably don't want 5 factories here. Let's just put you down to, let's say, 2. Actually, you know what? We don't need civilian factories. Now that we have basically absolutely 0 consumer good factories, we don't need to worry about that. I mean, you're still going to take a long time to build. Because you are the one in that province for now. Demolition expert and seducer. Why don't you guys go here? You are currently just going to hold Intel network for now at 46. Seems all right for us. And I just want to see what the Germans do with all their units the moment the war begins. Because this is too many troops they have on our border. Like, I don't know why you have so many here. We can make resistance contacts in this territory, but I don't think there's anywhere else they have that's occupied. Support the CSA 2000 rifles? Absolutely not. I think they can support themselves well enough. Yeah, no, they're doing absolutely a-okay. And doesn't look like the Canadians have any any initiative right now to actually declare war on the CSA, which is nice for us. Okay, so you guys have some units down here. I know these 2 territories are going to fall. There's really nothing I can do to stop that. And you guys are now at war. Austria, of course, have immediately joined the Reichspakt. Did not take them a long time, which is worrying because now the Reichspakt's looking absolutely dreadfully massive. Well, I'll kind of see what, like, you guys do. Because if, you know, Serbia, they're encouraging Yugoslavianism. If you were to, you know, go to war with the Austrians for Lyria, Transylvania, and some territory here, that would be nice. If Russia were to get involved somewhat as well, that would be nice. But I've noticed that Germany has not taken the troops off their border. Not as many troops off our border as I would have liked them to. Denmark has joined the Reichspakt. So let me just... Bulgaria's joined the Reichspakt. Yeah, so this Reichspakt is looking absolutely terrifying. That's a beefy Reichspakt right there. Let's see what the Italians do. Because you're probably going to join the Reichspakt at some point too, which is going to get the Italians in the war. Like, how many troops does Austria have? 8 to 64. Not a ton, but not nothing either. I don't think I want to join the war. At least until Russia gets involved. Because that should make our situation a little bit smoother. Your political power gain is not going up anymore, huh? Okay, well, if that's the case, then we're going to finish National Assembly. Oh, yeah, you're no longer giving us political power gain. Maybe you stopped at 50? Or maybe it was a limited time thing. I'm not too sure. Because here comes the Polish troops. I mean, as long as we have a border with Germany like this, we're distracting a nice number of German divisions. Which is nice. We have... Even it's going to take 332 days. I think we want to get the better rifles. I mean, it's still September, so we still got a few months until this modifier goes away. But yeah, I just don't want to join the war right now when I know that it's pretty suicidal to have it happen. Because, like, you guys probably aren't going to join the war anytime soon. And again, we don't really know what the Russians are doing right now. Indonesia's capitulated, so the Dutch and Indians have secured their foothold in Indonesia. Again, not great for us, for sure. A revolutionary statue has been vandalized. A statue of Rotterdam erected in honor of the revolution has been besmirched in orange, white, and blue by a filthy reactionary. Sadly, the response is more and more young people who admire the courage of the deed have been inspired to follow the anti-revolutionary underground of Vienna. It was plotting to take down the fragile nation we have established. If we are to prevent the growth of this form of underground resistance, we must crack down hard on this. Yeah, crack down on the anti-revolutionaries in Rotterdam. So you're now all at 0. I think it gives us a little bit of boost here as well. Like, what's what? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, 20, 23. There's 23 German divisions right here. And even the Canadians have for some reason gotten involved. I'm assuming they sent volunteers here. Which is sad news for us. How many units have already died in the war? 132 to 55k. Britain, how have you lost 100,000 men already? I guess you were probably sending troops overseas and they got caught by the German Navy. Which is, again, horrible. Like, that's really bad. The first Grober Prix in Zadrut. The first just Grober Prix, or Grand Prix, has been held in the street track in the town of Zandroot today. While it does not count for the European Championship, it has inserted much interest in the mayor of Zandroot has called for support to build a formal circuit in Zandroot where an official Großer Prix for the Netherlands can be held. One that formally counts towards the European Championship. Well, I feel like any European races are probably going to be on the back burner, considering the fact that it is World War II, which does probably put a hamper in the whole having major sporting events situation, I guess you could say. I'm hoping Italy at least has like a decent number of troops on this border, because Austria does scare me a little bit, because Germany can throw troops down here as well. Italy joining the Internationale. Okay, so Italy, what is your plan here? Because you're probably going to join the Reichspakt. I'd be surprised if you didn't at this point. You're probably going to join a war against the Austrians, but will you be able to push your way in any decent rate? I don't know. I mean, one thing I could do, I'm going to save just in case this backfires, but I don't think it will, is I'm going to save the game. There we go. Fantastic. We are then going to join the Internationale. I'm not going to join the war quite yet. Apparently there's no Austrian troops on this border. At least not quite yet. The commune has accepted our request. Fantastic. So at least I get to see kind of what's happening in the war for now. They have so many. Germany has too many troops. One thing I can say is that Germany has too many men. I'm not joining the war right now, though. You know, you are out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm going to join the war right now. You should have called the Italians in like a million years ago, though. You could have easily pushed your way, at least towards this mountain range, relatively quickly. And for some reason, once we actually left... Yeah, you know what? We'll join the war. It's risky for sure, but let's try it. We're already taking some pretty bad casualties here. I mean, we're going to lose some territory. That's of no surprise. Thank you, Britain, for your support. We're 29 on you, 31. Do we have air superiority over the lowlands? The answer is that yes, we do, which is nice. We're at 77. Two Sicilies joined the war. It's not a surprise. And Russia has declared war on the Internationale, or on the Reichspakt, I should say, which is nice for us. Okay, we're moving our troops slowly into the country. But I think we'll also get a research slot. But I think for right now, this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching my Anthem. If you enjoyed, give a thumbs up. And not enjoy, close thumb down. If you want to see more, subscribe. And goodbye.